Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Sorry about the bad hair, but this whole video I'm gonna have bad hair because I just woke up to find that I've got some serious problems with my avalanche. As a lot of you might know, I use it every winter and I do the plowing and stuff like that with it. So we really need this thing to be up in top form for the winter because we do get a lot of snow where we live. And went to start it today to put the plow on it to just do some plow maintenance, and I found this. You want to show the viewers? Oh no. That is fuel. And as absolute luck would have it, the tank's 3/4 full. So that's perfect because this is a 31-gallon tank. So I was gonna do it outside on my concrete pad over there. So I really don't want to do it in the garage because of the smell, but you know what, it's supposed to rain here for the next couple of days. Today's supposed to be nice, but I don't even know if I'll get this apart and fixed today, so in the garage we go. Stick around. Alright, so we got it up on the jacks, quick jacks. So a couple things. That's where I got to drain my fuel, is from that filler hose there, so I'm going to have to try and disconnect that. And the only problems I see right now is I got to drop that fuel tank. The quick jack is going to be in the way on this side. So I'm going to have to make sure that tank's as empty as possible. And I'm not going to lie, I almost cut that hose. Alright, so I was able to get that hose off, as you all see there. That's the filler hose. But my fuel tank draining hose, which is this, and or a garden hose, does not fit into that check valve that's in the tank. So there's a little check valve up there, a little ball valve. So this here, this is going to take a really long time. So I'm just going to sit back and relax. All right, so we're coming on to probably an hour and 10 minutes or so. And you can see there the level. So this is a 14-gallon jug, and I'm gonna let that go a bit longer. I have another one here. Like I said, I had 3/4 of a tank, and I decided to do my diff fluid while I was in here. So I've got that open and drained, and I sucked it out with my suction machine there. Can't get that cover off; it's pretty rusty. So now I just got to go get some fluid and. Well, this empties some more because this is taking a really long time. All right, so the fuel tank got drained. We did that like I showed you. Now I just got all my fuel lines disconnected. This job, this is no joke. This is a very technical job on this Avalanche. I'm not sure if it's the same as on the pickup trucks, but you have these quick fitting connectors, and it took me a while to find the fuel feed on the front of the tank. So there are a number that you're going to have to disconnect, and disconnecting them without damaging them or breaking them is probably the hardest part. Wow. So if we're looking up here, so there's the front of the fuel tank here. Hope you guys can see this right here. And if you look up in the frame on this side right here, you have to reach up inside, up here, to disconnect that fuel line. So if you reach up on the top, you can actually feel. So here, I wonder if I can give you guys a better index here. Oh, that's rust falling, a little weight reduction. Here's the bracket for the running board. There's the body mount. You got to stick your arm up in here, and the fuel feed line connector is right here. And again, that's a quick connector, and I'll see if I can get a picture to show you guys, and I'll put it up on the screen right here. All right, so now we're at the back of the vehicle. So here is the differential, and there's the back of the tank here. Let's put my phone up here so I can give you some light. So up here, you're going to be disconnecting. Number one, you have the fuel tank vent right here. Hope you guys can see that. That's the fuel tank vent that disconnects from the top of the tank here. On this piece right here, hope you guys can see that. And then you have the big connector right here that is on your evap canister, and the top connector, so you can see these clips I'm out of breath. So these clips here, this is the same kind of clip that's on the fuel feed on the front and the fuel vent. So when these are snapped down like this, you have to pinch the sides, push up on the clip until it's fully disengaged. Then you can wiggle the plastic line out. So again, you have 1, 2, 3, which is the fuel tank vent right here. And then you have the fuel feed at the front of the tank and the fuel vent on the front of the tank as well. All right, I never use a creeper, but because this vehicle is 20 feet long, I'm gonna use a creeper and we'll just roll back here. And still going. All right, and here we are. Here is the fuel tank vent. I'm gonna place my light here for you guys. So this is the vent line, and this is the same kind of connector that's on the other ones. So you can see that goes in there like so. So what you do is you pinch the two little, this little red clips on the side there. You pinch them on the side, you pull up on this clip, and then you wiggle and pull this line out like so. And now I haven't damaged any of these lines. This one I'm not too concerned about because this is the one I believe is leaking on the top of the vehicle, where it might mount to the fuel sending unit. I'm not sure, but so I am ready now to break that fuel tank strap bolt or nut, because that's going to break for sure. The rear one I already did. I did that one last year, so that one should come out pretty simple. And I'm ready to start lowering this tank. This is exhausting and dirty. What did I do? You know, so if anybody ever complains about bringing their vehicle to a shop and paying a technician to do this, you know what? Stuff it, because that's what I should have done, because this sucks. And I'm wasting a nice afternoon.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
This bolt is actually coming out. So what I'm doing is when it gets really stiff, when it reaches the bottom, I'm just backing it back in so I don't spin the nut on the top, because that would suck. And I don't have room to put the impact in there, so. I think I just broke the nut. I think the nut's spinning now. Well, I've been on my back most of the afternoon. That took 3 hours. This is what I ended up doing. I ended up cutting the strap. Now, because I have such a big fuel leak and there was fuel everywhere, I didn't want to use anything that would create sparks, of course. So I tried to stay away from power tools and anything that would make sparks, grinders, all that stuff. So I ended up using the reciprocating saw, and I ended up cutting this piece off like that, so that I was left with this. Now, if you remember, I don't know where that bolt went, but I had this still sitting on the frame, and I had the bolt and the nut, or the bolt coming up through like this, and the nut was on top of the frame. And I had about maybe a 1/4 inch of bolt play, because the bolt had started to come out, then the nut spun on the top. So I was able to get my zippy tool in there, or this little rotary tool, and I was able to get it up inside, and slowly, like try not to make any sparks, on the lowest setting, just grinded away at it for 15 minutes, that bolt, and just slowly just grinded away at it, and it fell off. And I got it out. So that strap's out. So now I'm just going to work on that back bolt. The back bolt should be no problem. I've already had it out. That should fall right out. And that's a day, almost. Like, I think I'm ready to pack it in almost. But I'm so close to getting it out, so let's keep plugging away. And it's down. And it's dark outside. So this is half full. This is full. This is full. And that is half full. So 5, 14, and 5. That's 24. That's 24 gallons. I emptied 24 gallons of fuel throughout the day in a 1/4 inch hose. Took a long time. that is one big tank. So I already see my problem. Unfortunately, it's not my lines. It's my fuel pump or my sending unit. This thing, that was stupid. Anyway, I'm gonna call it a night. That was a exciting day. I don't know about exciting, but I'm high on gas fumes anyway. Morning, it's the next day. So I was probably leaking fuel here. Now I really want to save this line here because this line is one piece all the way around and it's about $375 Canadian. So I'd really like to be able to save this. So this one here, I was able to get it up, but now I have to pull it off. So I'm just going to pinch this clip and I just want to release the line from there. And I want to be able to separate that line, pull it backwards off of that fitting. So I'm just going to slowly grab it. I don't know if I'll be able to save it. A lot of times these just rust right in there. So I've got some penetrating fluid. I sprayed it in there and hopefully we can get that free. It spins nicely. All right, we got that one. That's really good news. Everything still looks good inside. So you guys can see the little clip. Oh yeah, you can really see where that's rotted right there. I know it needs a pump now. So there you go. Now we got to work at this, see if we can get this apart. Again, I want to try and get this fitting out of this line to save it. Luckily, you can replace just this line, which is fortunate, and I do have it. I do have it with me because I picked this line up in case this would happen. But it still would be nice to save it, so we're going to try and okay, so here's that top ring we were talking about. I got it all cleaned up, so I had to soak it. This took a long time to get this off. This ring is a lock cam, and to get it off, you'll see these little tabs. These are what you don't want to break, or if they're rotted off your tank, then you're in big trouble. It's just a hammer, and you would just counterclockwise like so until the whole thing spins off. I worked a long time on this. This took probably 30 minutes to get this off. It's in really good shape, so I think I'm going to reuse it. And these are the tabs right here that are super important for the tank. Now I made sure that I'm cleaning these up as much as I can before I pull the pump unit so that I don't get any debris inside. And that's very important. So again, being very careful, and also when you're hitting it with a hammer and stuff like that, you're making sure you're not punching the tank down like so and put a hole in the bottom of your tank. But again, these are part of the tank. So this unit now should just lift straight up. So I'm going to vacuum it again one more time. This pump unit, like I said, should just draw straight up like so. See that? How it comes up. I don't want to pull it out yet because there's still a little bit of debris in there. So I'll give that another vacuum, and then we're going to pull the unit out. And I'm going to have to go buy a unit. Alright, so a couple days later, I got some parts. So when I last left you guys, seconds ago for you, but days for me, we were going to pull this guy out here. And this will be the first time I actually pull it out of here. You can see it's spring loaded, it pops straight out. Alright, so the vent is just pretty simple little clip. It's a matter of pinching and pushing down slowly. Just pinch these guys in, push it down slowly, then the vent comes off. So we'll just have to release that into the tank and hopefully we can grab it later. And now we're just going to pull the pump out slowly. And we're going to watch here. We have the This is the sender right here on the side. Now my unit came with it, apparently. I haven't opened it yet, but we'll find out. All right. So then once we have it out, we're going to drain the fuel. All right, now this thing's going to still have fuel in the regulator here, so I'm just going to put that aside for now. I don't think there's any parts I'm going to need to steal off of it, because I think my new pump comes with it all. And we are good to clean this up now, vacuum it, make sure we're not getting any more debris inside the tank, and open the new pump. Now, something else that you should be extremely mindful of is that fuel vapors are what is combustible, and that's what can explode. So the liquid itself is not combustible. It's the vapor that comes off of the fuel or the gasoline that is explosive. So even when I'm using a vacuum like that, I'm not sticking the vacuum straight inside to be sucking out all those fumes and then pulling those flammable fumes through my vacuum cleaner, which probably makes sparks inside the motor there somewhere, and whoa, boom, and next thing. And you're not being much help today, are you? No, you're just gonna be sitting there, just enjoying the outdoors. Right. Okay, bye, Ash. All right, so I got my pump here. It is a General Motors pump from the dealership. And let's just see what we got. So I guess my biggest concern throughout all this was going to be availability of parts, because if you're a repair shop or you're into repairing your own vehicles or you work for a repair shop, you know parts availability the past couple of years, aftermarket, dealers, Chevy, Dodge, Volvo, Honda, it's been atrocious. But I was lucky. I was able to get it overnight. And there she is. So the fuel sender is already connected. That is fantastic. It's got my fuel tank pressure sensor. So we are all set to go. Everything looks good. Nice brand new pipe. So we're going to make sure when we install this that it's well oiled up and ready to go. All right, so first thing we're going to do is put the seal on. To make sure that it sits in there properly. So we're going to drop the pump in like the other one came out. Like so. Then we got to move it to the side. And we somehow have to grab our vent line. And I have it here. Somewhere here. Okay, perfect. And we're going to snap this back into place where that belongs. Until you hear a click. Hopefully you guys can see this. That's a bad camera angle, right? Here, I'll give you guys a better idea. It's indexed, right? So we can only put it in the one way. So here's that little piece. And I got this sitting. My seal is sitting in that groove where it's supposed to be sitting, all the way around there. We reconnected the vent line, and now we're going to put the lock ring back on. So the first thing I'm going to do, because for as long as I own this vehicle, I am never doing this again. I am going to apply some anti-seize or some never seize, just a nice light coating. So if you remember, this is a lock ring that I painted up, that I got painted. So we're going to reinstall this lock ring. To do this, I just need a hammer and so here you guys can see we've got it back together, and you see the indexing right here. So it goes in there, tightens till it gets all the way to the end. So now we're going to apply some more anti-seize to all this stuff right here, and then like I said before, when I'm ready to put it back in, I'm going to give it a good shot of undercoating there. Well, good news, I got the tank back up after you saw that I installed the sending unit. don't forget to plug in your sending unit and your pressure sensor, because, or that E85 sensor, because that's on the top of the fuel unit. So that all went really well. I was able to save all the lines, all the clips, even the line on top of the tank. I was able to save that. I did pour a couple gallons of fuel into it, primed it, and it fired right off. I had it running for probably, I don't know, 30 seconds or so, and didn't have any leaks. So far so good.